Ready to make a real impact every day? Join the Active Day Home Care team and help clients maintain their independence in the comfort of their own homes. Make a difference in someone's life as you provide essential daily assistance and protect their health and happiness. Earn up to $20 an hour and enjoy additional perks like optional daily pay, 401k, paid time off, ongoing educational training, and more. Join a team that values care, compassion, and your professional growth. Visit activeday.com to apply.
You just realized your business needed to hire someone yesterday. How can you find amazing candidates fast? Easy. Just use Indeed. Stop struggling to get your job post seen on other job sites. With Indeed sponsored jobs, your post jumps to the top of the page for your relevant candidates, so you can reach the people you want faster. According to Indeed data, sponsored jobs posted directly on Indeed have 45% more applications than non-sponsored jobs. Don't wait any longer. Speed up your hiring right now with Indeed. And listeners of this show will get a $75 sponsored job credit to get your jobs more visibility at Indeed.com/PODKATZ13. Just go to Indeed.com/PODKATZ13 right now and support our show by saying you heard about Indeed on this podcast. Terms and conditions apply. Hiring? Indeed is all you need.
Welcome to Family Law Talk. Family Law Talk. Presented by Kirk Stange of Stange Law Firm, PC. Stange Law Firm is a multi-state family law firm. Now, here's your host, Kirk Stange.
Welcome to Family Law Talk. We have an interesting topic today. The topic is the value of trust during your family law case. And this episode today is based on an article on our blog, FamilyLawHeadquarters.com, dated September 12th, 2015, and the title of the article is Why Having Faith Can Pay Off for a Family Law Client. So as a follow-up to the episode today, go on over to FamilyLawHeadquarters.com and read this article for more information on this topic. But let's go ahead and jump on in. The reality is that family law litigation can be gut-wrenching for those going through it. For individuals going through it, it can in many ways feel like their whole life is on pause. It can often feel like their whole life is even hanging in the balance, which can be very tough for an individual. Individuals going through divorce or family law matters can have all kinds of worries and anxiety. The worries and anxiety can revolve around child custody in terms of how it's going to work, when they're going to get their kids, how decisions are going to be made. They may be worried about the finances in terms of the outcome of the case. So how is property and debt going to be divided? How are bills going to be paid? And these kinds of things. Individuals can also be worried about child support. And it doesn't matter if they're the party paying child support or the party receiving child support. They can be worried about whether it's going to be too much and they're not going to be able to afford it, or whether what they get's not enough and they're not going to have the income or the revenue to meet the kids' needs. Some individuals are worried about spousal maintenance, also called alimony. So, and again, this could come down to either end of the spectrum. If it's an individual who's going to have to pay, they might be worried about how they're going to be able to afford this when they have all these other expenses that they have. On the flip end, an individual who's receiving spousal maintenance might be worried about, is this going to be enough? Am I going to be able to find a place to live and meet my needs with the spousal maintenance that I'm receiving? And obviously, a lot of individuals can be overwhelmed at the thought of attorney fees as well. For most individuals, when they contemplate attorney fees in these kinds of cases, this can be troublesome for them to think about how they're going to be able to afford it. All right. Some parties are also not able to resolve their case in mediation or collaborative law, even though they want to. This is definitely a good option to consider for a lot of individuals who want the case to end as quickly as possible. They want to be able to move on with their life, but the reality is that settling in mediation or collaborative law isn't always easy, particularly out of the gates, where parties are still sort of emotionally charged up about the initiation of the case. And one of the other things lots of individuals really obsess over is the results of the case. So they might think, look, I want X, Y, or Z result to happen. And it could be about property and debt division. Could be child custody, child support, spousal maintenance, but there might be specific results that they're really attached to and they really feel as if they need, but they're concerned, is this going to happen? And is this going to happen quickly? Because a lot of individuals just want the pain and the expense of these kinds of cases to end as quickly as possible. And so what a lot of individuals can do is just sort of spin thinking about these things. Think about when you're on a computer and you hit a button to do something and you see the hourglass kind of spinning, right? The computer's thinking. A lot of individuals figuratively do this about their case, worried about the outcome, the expenses, and they're just thinking and they're just sort of spinning and they feel kind of stuck, like when the computer's stuck trying to do something and it's not moving quickly, okay? This is common for anybody going through a divorce or family law matter, but one of the most important things an individual can do if they're able to sort of reframe this whole situation is to have faith, to have trust that the case is going to work out. They might not understand how exactly it's going to work out, but if an individual can have faith and trust that no matter what the outcome is, they're going to move on with their life, it's going to work out, they're going to figure out a way to make it work. For a lot of individuals, this can make this process a lot better. It can cause them less stress and less anxiety worrying about these things, okay? So for most individuals going through these kinds of cases, this is difficult, okay? Some individuals might stress more than others. Some individuals might be in more of a Zen place where they just have faith and trust that it's going to work out. But I'll tell you, for anybody going through these cases, this is going to test anybody's patience. This would test anybody's faith and trust, and certainly a divorce or family law case, can bring out negative emotions and negative mindsets that an individual ordinarily wouldn't have, okay? So look, what individuals need to try to do is, one, hire an attorney who they trust, hire an attorney who they're comfortable with, hire an attorney who they feel like has their back, and they need to let the process play out and understand that it's probably going to take longer than they want. It might even be more expensive than they want it to be, and I hate to say that, but where lawyers bill hourly on these kinds of cases, these cases can be expensive. And the other thing individuals have to understand is that with 50% divorce rates and then 40% out of wedlock birth rates in the country, and all these cases ending up in the family court system, court dockets are often backed up, and there are often not enough judges to hear these cases. So individuals have to understand that these cases can take months, sometimes many months, sometimes more than a year, but they just have to let it play out. And if they have that mindset that it's going to work out and they let it play out, from my experience, what individuals then do is they have more peace while going through the process. They also behave in a way that is more positive, that is more constructive, and this ultimately looks much better to most family court judges and most guardian ad litems, as opposed to somebody who's worried and stressed and anxious. This is where individuals could make mistakes in family law cases by lashing out, by doing things that paint them in a negative light. And so just having this faith in this positive mindset can be very important for individuals who are going through these processes. Otherwise, what individuals can do is they can be consumed by the what ifs. What if this and what if that? And if individuals get consumed by the what ifs, this is where individuals can just sort of torture themselves emotionally. And this obviously isn't a good thing in terms of somebody's psychological mindset. And again, it can cause an individual to make some mistakes in a case that paint them in a bad light, okay? For individuals who are kind of thinking about this and contemplating this, and they think, well, how do I put myself in a positive place, a place of faith, a place of trust when going through these kinds of cases? Let me give you some tips, obviously. And these tips are outside the article, by the way. And this is going to be different for everybody, right? So everybody's going to do this a little bit different, but some good things individuals can do in many respects might be see a counselor. Seeing a counselor who's positive, who's upbeat, who helps put you in a good mindset can be very vital, and then can help you work through the stresses and the anxiety that you might have. I think that's definitely a positive thing. I think watching and listening to positive things can be very important. Could be podcasts, could be videos, it could be things on TV. Always feeding yourself with positivity can be an important thing. Reading can be a good thing. Reading books that are positive and upbeat, that can be great in terms of feeding your brain on a regular basis. Some individuals find a lot of peace through exercise. Exercise, a lot of research that shows can release, good, positive energy within your body, which can be helpful. Other individuals find peace through like meditation, through prayer, through spirituality, and these kinds of things. Obviously, this is going to be something that looks different to other individuals, but that's definitely something to think about. And then just surrounding yourself with positive and upbeat people can be a very good thing. Be careful about surrounding yourself with people who fan flames, people who are negative, people that are angry. Typically through divorce or family law matter, this isn't what you want around you. You want people that make you feel better, that keep your faith up, that keep your trust up, and keep you in a good psychological mindset, okay? So that's the topic today. Definitely an interesting topic, and one I wanted to cover as a follow-up to the episode today. Go on over to familylawheadquarters.com, read the article dated September 12th, 2015, titled Why Having Faith Can Pay Off for a Family Law Client. This will give you more information on this topic, but thanks for tuning in today, and stay tuned to our next episode coming up on Family Law Talk. Thank you very much.
Thank you for listening to Family Law Talk with Kirk Stange. Visit StangeLawFirm.com for more about today's topic or to put Stange Law Firm to work for your family today. The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely on advertisements. Neither the Supreme Court of Missouri or Illinois reviews or approves certifying organizations or specialist designations. The information you obtained in this podcast is not, nor is it intended to be, legal advice. You should consult an attorney for advice regarding your individual situation. We invite you to contact us and welcome your calls, letters, and electronic mail. Contacting us does not create an attorney-client relationship. Please do not send any confidential information to us until such time as an attorney-client relationship has been established. Past results afford no guarantee of future results, and every case is different and must be judged on its own merits. Kirk Stange is responsible for the content. Headquarters, Office, 120 South Central Avenue, Suite 450, Clayton, Missouri, 63105. Kirk Stange is licensed in Missouri, Illinois, and Kansas.